So, hello everyone. Today we have with us talented Australian cricketer known for his aggressive batting at the top order. It's Sam Heazlett. Sam, welcome and thank you for this joining us.
No worries. Thanks for having me. It's good to be here. Always keen to chat to new people and learn things off them as well.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. So we can start. Sam, welcome. And can you tell us about your cricket journey and how it's all started in Australia?
Yeah, I guess in Australia, cricket is a very popular sport, especially in the summer. It's what most young kids do. So I played a bit of football in the winter and cricket in the summer, and I really loved it. I guess I had a bit of hand-eye coordination, bit of natural athleticism, and yeah, just went through the grades, played different ages. Wasn't always the best in my age group necessarily. Had my good years and bad years, as you do as a cricketer, and was fortunate enough to have good support from good coaches over the years. Had my family behind me, backing me in my sporting endeavours, and get opportunities in different representative teams. Being able to uh, reached my goals of playing for Queensland, my stateside and domestic cricket, playing Big Bash cricket, which was great in front of big crowds for many years in the end, and playing one day international cricket for Australia. Now still being able to travel the world and play franchise cricket, different leagues around the world. So I'm very fortunate and still do a lot of coaching myself. Still play, of course, but I love the coaching side of things with cricket, and also I'm a physiotherapist now, so I help to treat some young players who get injured too.
Okay, so growing up in Queensland, were the biggest influence on the development on your cricket as a cricketer?
Yeah, I think we're very lucky in Queensland. We have great weather, so we're able to play cricket all year round. I even did play winter cricket a lot, and um, was able to develop my skills all year round on good pitches. We have good hard bouncy wickets here in Queensland because of the nice weather. It rains a little bit, but not too much. So very fortunate there. I just had great people around me, good coaches, good teammates, which challenged me at training, and because it's such a popular sport, there's so many good cricketers here and so many hard-working cricketers in Australia, like many countries, but especially here as well. I know that work hard, that have good skills, that unfortunately don't quite make it to that professional level. But it means that every game of cricket you play is challenging, and it's a test for your skills. And if you want to perform well at any level, you have to be at your best on that day.
Okay, so you are known as top order batsman, aggressive top order batsman. How do you balance power hitting with consistency?
Yeah, I think it's funny that it's sort of worked out that way. Growing up, I had a bit of a pull shot on me. I used to play a pull shot a fair bit, being a left-hander. That's a natural thing. I never was a power hitter as such. I was probably a bit skinnier and weaker. I had long levers, but I wasn't the strongest person. I'm still not. Thankfully, in cricket, you don't have to be the strongest. If you time the ball well and you find the middle of the bat, you get the results you need. But I think T20 cricket didn't necessarily come naturally to me. I think I enjoyed the longer format of the game in red ball cricket, being able to take my time and be patient and leave well and defend well and put away the bad balls when they came. I had some probably the most success in one day cricket, where it was a bit of balance of everything. You needed to have that aggressive side too. And T20 cricket's a challenge. It's a lot of pressure on you to score runs at a fast rate, and it is that balance. And I still haven't perfected it. I don't think anyone ever does, but always learning, and I feel like every year I'm getting better as a cricketer. Even now, I'm better than I was 2 years ago, or whatever it might be. But it's about adapting to the situation and the conditions, especially. One day you might go out there and bat a certain way, but the next game you might have to bat completely differently because the wicket's playing a different way. The bowlers have different plans with different field settings, and so you have to know your game. You have to understand what works for you and how you need to change your game
Yeah.
based on the conditions and the situation.
Okay, so which aspect of your batting have you worked on the most over the years?
That's a good question. I think always the biggest thing I work is with my straight bat shots. both front and back foot, but being able to hold my shapes in defence and be able to trust my defence on the front and back foot, and then be able to transition that into an attacking shot, whether it's a drive back down the ground or a punch off the back foot. But I think you need to be able to own that zone, especially in line with the stumps and just outside off stump. So trying to make that my own and be really confident if the ball's a good ball, bowled to that good or back of a length on or around off stump, that I can cover it, and then hopefully I can also score off it, rotate for a single or punch it through the field for a couple. And if I think that area of my game is in order, then I'm able to play more expansive shots like the cut and the pull and be more trusting in those. And also always like to practice with a bit of challenge. So with the ball swinging, I use either a brand new leather ball where possible, but you can't always buy those. Use a swinger cricket ball, they're called, which swings a bit in the air at training, just to give that extra practice that the ball's not just coming on straight onto the bat, or even on the bowling machine. If I'm using that, making sure it's set a certain way so the ball sort of wobbles down at me or swings a fair bit, so it's not just easy all the time.
Okay. So do you prefer pitching pace or spin, and why?
I think it fluctuates. It depends how things are going at that certain point in time, what the conditions are, of course, as well. Uh, I probably get out facing spin more than pace, but I also probably score more runs, or at least at a faster rate against spin than pace. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword. When the spinner comes on, I feel that's a good thing. I've gotten through the pace bowlers. I've been able to get through that challenge, um, and that I can then sort of cash in against the spinner and play some shots and be a bit more aggressive, which is great. I like facing spin and using my feet and sweeping. However, like I said, with that extra aggression often comes mistakes every now and then, and so I've lost my wicket a few times against spin as well. So yeah, it's one of those things that it goes both ways.
Okay. So who's your favorite non-striker batsman when you comes to bat and to enjoy the games?
uh, I used to love batting with Chris Lynn in the Big Bash, and Brendan McCullum as well. Those two guys, you knew you could just get them on strike, and they would be pretty aggressive, and they would find the boundary more times than not. So the pressure wasn't on you. You could just go about your business, and when you got a bad ball, you'd put it away because you weren't feeling under pressure to score the runs and be the one yourself to put pressure back on the bowlers. So yeah, the days playing for the Brisbane Heat with Baz and with Lenny was pretty cool having them down the other end.
Okay. So how do you mentally prepare for high pressure situation, especially in T20 cricket? High pressure games.
Yeah, some days I feel very nervous. Some days I feel like there's pressure on me as a player, and other days I feel a bit more relaxed. And sometimes it's hard to put my finger on why that might be. Sometimes you're not sure. I think it's the lead into that game. It's how you've gone in the past, but that nervousness is a good thing. I think there's plenty of games where I've gone out there and felt like, oh, this, it doesn't really matter too much today. It might be a trial game or a practice game where there's not much people watching. No one really cares about the result. And I very often perform poorly in those situations because I don't feel the nerves. And the nerves are what gets me up and about, what switches me on, which keeps me focused and sharp in the moment. So I try and embrace those nerves. And I also try and tell myself, if I was playing backyard cricket or um, gully cricket in India or whatever it might be, where you're just having fun with your mates and um, playing on the street or whatever it might be, then you want to be the person batting. You want to have the bat in your hand. You want to be hitting the ball. You don't want to be standing in the field just watching everyone else bat and score runs. So I try and think even in a competitive game, then I want to be the one batting. If I'm next into bat, don't think that I should shy away from batting. I don't want to be sitting there being like, oh, don't get out. I don't want to bat. I don't want to be out there. No, I want to be out there. I want to be the one out there having fun. And then when I get out into the middle, just just take it all in, I think, and be like, it's pretty cool to be out here right now. There's 11 people on the other team that are trying to get me out, and they're all against me. But but this is what we train for. This is what we play for, is to get the opportunity to be out in the middle batting, and it doesn't happen all that often. So it's a bit of a foreign feeling, but just trying to take it all in and embrace it.
Okay, okay. So it's a good answer. And you have played in a different T20 leagues around the world. So what those experience taught to you as a player or as a captain, as a
Yeah, I think it's very different growing up and being the young guy in the side over here with a lot of big names playing with you. You sort of feel like you're always learning, which is great, but you don't want to overstep the mark and speak up too much, or uh, you don't have much to give because you feel like everyone around you is more experienced. But now, getting a bit older and having that experience, being able to go overseas and meet new people and be able to share that experience with them is great. You know, you often find them asking a lot of questions, which is awesome. That's what you want from teammates, is if they're not sure or if they feel like they've got something to learn, that they can ask you and that you can give some advice on that. So, yeah, especially playing in the Nepal Premier League recently was great. There's so much talent over there. The local players are very skillful and know how to play in their conditions. So I learned off them too about how to play in those conditions. But they, were able to ask me about playing in T20 cricket in those big competitions. They hadn't had very many Nepal Premier Leagues yet. There's only the second one this year. So playing in front of big crowds under lights at night time against high level overseas fast bowlers or whatever it might be was different for them. And so it was nice to be able to share that experience and uh, yeah, have it go both ways.
Mm, okay, so you tell about your Nepal Premier League. So you played for the Nepal Premier League for the Biratnagar Kings. So how was your overall experience playing cricket in Nepal?
Yeah, I loved it. It was I was there for about a month, and the people were very, very kind, very welcoming. I love the food. I love my curries anyway, and I eat a lot of sort of spicy curries back home. Not too hot, but just enough. And so it was great going over there and having that sort of food available. And yeah, we played a lot of cricket. It was different conditions, so I loved even going to training and challenging myself in those different conditions and playing spinners on those pitches. Yeah, I didn't play the first few games. We had four other overseas players that started off the competition in those first few games, but it was nice to get a chance then about midway through and be able to contribute to the team, winning a few games and then stay in the team for the rest of the tournament. We got close. Unfortunately, we couldn't make it through to the final, but it was great to play. Especially we had guys like Martin Guptill and Faf du Plessis come over and play with us as well, who are
Yes.
world class cricketers and great blokes as well.
I think cricket culture in Nepal is extremely passionate. So how do you feel playing in front of Nepali fans? Like lots of Nepali fans, it's extremely passionate about crickets. So how you feel?
Yeah, I mean, there was probably just under 20,000 people at the ground, but it felt like there was 50,000. It felt so loud. Every ball, there was music, there was singing and dancing by the crowd. Everyone was happy. They're all very respectful and wanting to talk to you and have a chat. And it was like, even though sometimes they had their team and they were supporting one team or the other, they were just happy with good cricket and they wanted to see both teams perform well. They just wanted to be entertained and they were supportive of all the players on both teams. So that was a great environment to play cricket in, and I'd love to be back. And we'll see what happens in the future.
Okay, so how different were the playing conditions in Nepal as compared to Australia? Was it challenging to adapt?
Definitely challenging. I've played in Sri Lanka and India before, so had a bit of practice in those conditions. But every time you go back, you have to readapt because I spent a lot more time in Australia playing here. Uh, so it's always about adapting as fast as possible. The wickets we played on in the games were very good to start with in the competition. There was quite a lot of runs scored. There was enough pace and bounce. There was a little bit in it for the pace bowlers and the spinners, so that was great to start with. Towards the back end of the competition, it got pretty tough because we were on the same field and therefore the same wicket block the whole time, a couple of games a day sometimes for the month. So Um, it got a bit dustier and started spinning more, and there was a lot lower scores towards the back end of the competition because of that, which wasn't a bad thing. It just meant it was a different spectacle for people to watch, and you had to change the way you went about it. But it was different, but good, and I think that's how it should be. It should be different.
So what was your experience like with you play for Vietnam Kings as a team and any memorable dressing room with roommates or player?
Well, yeah, we all stayed in the same hotel, which was great. Uh, you could go down to breakfast or dinners, and your teammates would be there, so you could catch up. And um, yeah, it was nice. I think some of the local players didn't have the strongest English. Some of the younger guys who hadn't been around those sort of setups uh, weren't the best with their English language, but they all tried very hard to still make it work. Guys like Sandeep and Lokesh Bam, who just batted really nicely for Nepal in the T20 World Cup, but guys like them who have been around the national setup a while spoke very good English, and we're always keen to take you out and show you places where you could go up into the mountains and have great views or good food, or take you out to the shops and get some leather jackets or whatever it might be, where they knew that the best places to go. I went to Pokhara at the end of the competition, which is a beautiful spot there. It was nice to be able to spend a couple of days going through the caves there and out on the lake, and yeah, just seeing the snowy mountains, which is what you don't get too much of here in Brisbane.
Okay, so do you have any message for the fans of Viratnagar Kings and viewers and cricket lovers in Nepal?
Oh, my message would just be thank you for the support. They're so supportive, the fans there, and you get very little negative feedback. It's all very positive. I think people love their cricket and they want to see you win and they want to see you do well for the team. So I understand if there's ever a little bit of negatives when you don't do well, when you don't have a good day, but over there it was all very positive. Even when you didn't perform, they knew you were trying your best. They knew you were doing what you could for the team, and that gave you the confidence to be able to go back the next game and keep sticking to your guns and um, playing with freedom. So yeah, it was an environment you wanted to be in as part of a cricket as a cricketer.
Okay, every cricketer face ups and downs in the life. What has been the toughest phase of your career and how did you overcome it?
Uh oh, that's a tough one. Yeah, I think I've always found it tough on sort of grassy wickets when the ball's seaming around, and especially when the bowl is a bit slower. You have to sort of generate your own pace on the ball, and the ball's moving around, so you're having to lead well and defend well. That's always been a challenge. I think the way I have adapted to those situations is just knowing where to stand at the crease, sort of covering my stumps a little bit more and backing myself that if they bowl it straight, that I'm going to be able to hit it, and I'm not going to be giving out LBW because I'm going to hit the ball. Also, standing a long way out of my crease in those situations so that again they have to bowl fuller if they want to get that LBW. It makes it a bit easier to leave. It means the bowler might get a bit greedier and bowl a bit fuller and straighter, and you can score then, uh, or even just being able to use my feet. So having a certain set position, but being able to use my feet down the wicket against pace bowlers or move around across the wicket or giving myself room just to put the bowler off, just to make them unsure what I was going to do, make them go to plan B so it's not quite as easy so they can't just do the same thing ball after ball.
Okay, so which teammate or a coach has influenced you as so far, most so far?
Oh, I've had lots of good coaches and teammates over the years help out. There's a coach in Brisbane called Blair Copeland who worked with me a lot, who is very good. And I trained together with him with guys like Marnus Labuschagne and Jimmy Pearson, and those two guys played for my club side in Brisbane as well. So growing up with them and training with them and being able to bounce ideas off each other uh, has been great. Um, Uh, who else? I really enjoyed working with James Hopes, who I played with my first couple of years for Queensland, but then when he retired, he became coach, and I think he was very good uh, as a coach. And I also linked back up with him in Hobart when I went down there with the Hurricanes for a season. So um, that was great. It's hard to mention everyone. There's been so many good contributions, and the tough thing as a player is you get a lot of ideas and thoughts from different people, and sometimes they're conflicting views, and you can't follow everything. You have to, most importantly, be happy in yourself with how you're going about things. You have to be accountable for your own plans, and just because someone else, even if it is the coach or the captain, tells you they think you should go about it one way, at the end of the day, it's up to you as a player to decide how you're going to go about it. And usually, if you're trusting in your plans, then that's going to give you the best chance to have the success you want.
Okay, so you also play in the Big Bash League and Australian National Cricket team. So what was your experience in Big Bash League? Like lots of player to watch Big Bash League. Lots of player play in Big Bash League. So it's after IPL, it's I think Big Bash League is too much hype in India. Lots of every Indians watch Big Bash League. So what was your experience in Big Bash League playing in Hobart? Because I think you play for I think Brisbane Heat. You play for Brisbane Heat. So
Yeah,
how's your experience?
yeah, yeah. It was great. I was born and bred around Brisbane in Queensland, so nearby. So it was great to play for my home team. Was very proud of my area that I grew up in, so that was great. I mean, the standard of cricket in the Big Bash is very high. It's challenging because you only have a small number of teams. There's not lots of teams, so only a small number of teams. Only the best players get the opportunity to play. You have your four overseas players, or three actually. I think three overseas players, four in the IPL, three in Big Bash. I think per team. So that makes it even more challenging again when those international players come over and usually have one bowler, one batter, maybe an all rounder. So there's always, no matter what your skill is, you're going to come up against those world class players. Um, and yeah, it's a lot of cricket in a short period of time. So I think the biggest challenge is if you have a couple of bad games, being able to turn that around is the hardest part. Being able to then refresh, restart after only having 1 or 2 days since your last game. It's easy if you get on a run, if you have a couple of good games, the confidence builds, and it's you can stay on that run for a bit longer. But it's tough. It's a long season as a cricketer too. If you're playing 4 day cricket and 1 day cricket and T20s for all your domestic teams, then it's a lot of cricket, and you're having to chop and change between formats. So being able to know how to train so that you can quickly change between formats from day to day is uh, is another one to that takes a bit of time to get used to.
Okay, so what do you enjoy doing during off the field when you are not playing a cricket?
Nowadays, it's well, in most of the time it has been, but it's a lot of cricket. It's cricket, cricket, and more cricket. Really, like I said, I do a lot of cricket coaching. So, Perform Cricket is my brand where we do cricket coaching in person here in Brisbane and a little bit online too, which I really enjoy working with younger players and helping them to progress and passing on the knowledge that I've gained over the years. Like I said, I do a bit of physiotherapy work where I help them with injuries as well if they're off the field for a couple of weeks or months with an injury. I do a bit of surfing, so take my mind off cricket. I like to surf, which we have some good waves here in Australia, nice beaches. Um, I play a bit of golf sometimes. I'm not that good, but I try my best. The last couple of years, I've tried to work on my golf game because a lot of cricketers do play golf. I love my board games. My family, we play a lot of board games, and I like a bit of strategy and trying to win. I'm very competitive. They all know that, so I'm always trying to win those board games too.
Okay, so what advice would you give to young cricketers in Australia and around the world to play start cricket?
Uh, I think my advice is, there's a lot more to life than cricket, and you need to enjoy other things. You need to, I think it's very important to do your study if you're at school, or when you finish school, still go to university and study outside of cricket hours. There's plenty of time to do both. It's nice to have your hobbies that you can enjoy. If you're having a bad time on the cricket field, have a couple of low scores, you can still enjoy your hobbies, still spend time with your family and friends. I think it's very important. If you're just thinking cricket and putting your pressure on yourself in that one space, then it can get pretty overwhelming. But uh, more cricket related, I think it's just taking that one step at a time. Don't look too far ahead. It can feel like things are so far away, and you can be in a rush to get there. But enjoy where you're at. Embrace that moment. You're not going to get it again, and just go trust the process. That if you do the right things, if you work hard, if you um, do the little bits here and there to keep improving, keep finding that 1% each day, that you're going to progress and you're going to get more opportunities in the future.
Okay, so what goals are you currently working towards in your cricket career?
Yeah, I think I'm still trying to work on all formats of the game and score runs in all formats. However, more opportunities lately have been in that white ball setup in T20 or even T10 cricket nowadays. I mean, I didn't grow up playing a lot of T20 or especially T10, but when I was growing up, there wasn't really any of that. So it's been about just keeping on working on that power game, being able to hit the ball in different areas so that they can't just set a certain field and know that you're going to hit it to where your strengths are. You're going to be able to utilize full 360 degrees and um, yeah, being able to clear the boundaries. There's some big boundaries in Australia. Sometimes you play on a ground where it's long straight, sometimes it's long square. So you need to have options to go either way, depending on that field setup. So that's me. I probably don't hit quite as many balls as I used to. Just try and keep the training sessions a little bit shorter and sharper, and know what I need to work on. Still work on my bowling. Still try and bowl a bit of left arm off spin from time to time. Was able to do that a little bit in Nepal, but keep trying to contribute with the ball and in the field as well.
Okay, so yesterday I put a story on Instagram to ask the questions to you, like in public to my followers. So there is some few questions to ask. So what is your favorite shots? Favorite shot in cricket?
My favorite shot. I think it's very hard to beat a straight drive if I'm able to hit the ball back down the ground past the stumps for four. There's not much better feeling than that. It's hard to pick. I play a lot of pull shots and I play a lot of cover drives, but I think playing a straight drive along the ground for four is a pretty good feeling.
Okay, toughest bowler you have faced.
Oh, I faced Rashid Khan, who I was able to score some runs off and do pretty well against in Adelaide in a Big Bash game one day. He got me caught on the boundary on 49, but I thought I was going pretty well against him. But then the next game I played against him in Brisbane at the Gabba, he got me out first ball. So um, he got the better of me the second time. And probably from a pace bowling point of view, Lockie Ferguson seemed extremely tough. I faced him in my one day international debut against New Zealand, and he got me out there. It just seems so quick. Doesn't have the height necessarily as some. He doesn't get as much bounce, but just felt so skiddy, and he still swings the ball. Just felt like the ball was on you so quick, and you couldn't get like I went back to play a pull shot, and the ball just hit the stickers and rolled back to him along the ground. So Lockie Ferguson was a tough one from a pace bowler's perspective.
So your favorite cricket ground in the world on or in Australia?
Ooh, hmm. I I liked everyone says their home ground quite often. Like the Gabba is great to play at as a home ground, um, but probably playing in Perth I enjoy as a batter at the fast bouncy wickets. I like playing with that pace and bounce in the wicket, and also you get good reward for your shots. The ball flies along the outfield, so the Wacker was always nice growing up. I scored some runs there in an Australian under-19s game, but now we've moved to Perth to Optus Stadium in Perth, and We played a Big Bash final there, and the facilities are pretty cool. And it was very loud. The sound just stays in there. When it was packed, just no sound escaped. So it was very loud. You could hardly hear yourself think out on the field.
Okay. So one word to describe cricket.
Describe cricket.
Yes. One word.
One word. Uh, Challenging.
Okay.
I want to. I'll elaborate, but cricket is so tough, and I hear so many professional cricketers say like, "How hard is this?" Like being a batter, especially, but even bowler too. But batting and cricket is so hard. So you fail a lot more than you succeed, and it's a real challenge physically and mentally, and need people to understand that because it's fun. It's great when you have success, but it seems few and far between at times.
Okay. So we thank you so much for this joining us. We have a great conversation to talk with this legend, and I'm very grateful to talk with you. So I hope you have good session with me.
No, I had a lot of fun. It's always good to talk about cricket. Um, and yeah, I'm sure we'll have another chat at some stage in the future.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for the so much for joining us. Thank you so much. I hope we'll meet soon in the future. Can't wait to get your autograph on the jerseys.
Ah, of course, of course.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, mate.
Thank
Bye.